Okay, let me know when you get here and let me know if I sound better over here on this one or if there's something actually going amiss with my setup. Okay, this is round two. We were talking about pins that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree to test out. I have a Lamy Safari fountain pen, and I have a fountain pen that I got from Temu that I love the weight of, but I do not like the point. They all seem to be fine or extra fine, and this one is an extra fine. It does say on the nib. Um, so I really like a bolder writing pen, and I want one that I can change out my own inks in. I am intrigued with the piston fountain pens and the eyedropper fountain pens because they'll hold more ink at a time. I do like a chunkier pen, and I don't like the grip to be slick. So if you know of something that you love that you think I would love, I am left-handed. Let me know. All clear. Good, Stephanie G. I know it's got to be StreamYard. I don't know what they're doing with me, but it does not seem to like me anymore. I tried to do a live going on OBS, but I've got to retweak some stuff because it's all gotten messed up since I used it before. But this is the Jot calligraphy pen from Dollar Tree, and it is in an extra fine nib. And this, I was testing it in this Bible in the back to see if it actually went through or not. And I wrote just Dollar Tree calligraphy, and it did kind of show through, had ghosting, but it didn't really have much bleed through. You can still see it there. So that was interesting. So that is the Dollar Tree fountain pen. Wow, the screen, even on my screen, looks so much clearer on the YouTube one than it did on the StreamYard, which is crazy to me because it shouldn't be making a difference, that big a difference. I did get two more colors of this pen. I have found that I absolutely love these pens for writing in my Bible and Bible notes. These are the Sarasa fine liners, and they are quick drying and water resistant. Not waterproof, but water resistant. And the reason I love them so much is they're just really, really good. And you can get all different colors in it. This is a new color for me. It's the red. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's not an overpowering red, or it's just kind of a light faint red. And let's see what it does in this Bible, because these are really thin pages. Is why I tested in here. So you can see a little bit, not as much as the calligraphy pen we did. I normally like a lavender Copic multi-liner in my Bible. I fell in love with it when I got one in a sketch box one time, and it just does not show through at all. But this one is an orange one. Oh, I'm going to like this one. Yeah, that's really nice. And it shows through a little bit less, not a whole lot less. So those are some of my favorite ones as of lately that I've been enjoying. Then I picked up these other 3-packs because, well, you know I like really bold writing things. This is an 0.7 and that one's an 0.5. And that's a 1.0, but that is ballpoint and these are gel. So I was intrigued with the ballpoint because I like to try and test myself with drawing with ballpoint. And that's why I got those. Let's see. This is the R2 Blast 0.7 millimeter. Oh, this is nice. It is very inky, so I don't think it's going to be great for the Bible, but for writing outside of the Bible would be awesome. Oh yeah, look how much that went through. Yeah, that's not great for your Bible, but it would be great for just writing, scripture writing and stuff in general. Which, by the way, if you do scripture writing, I have put up on Ko-fi a printable of scripture writing pages in two different directions. One is going landscape on the page, and one is going the well, the other one is landscape too, but the writing sections, it's two sections on one, so you could make it into a booklet if you wanted to. But I made those. I did make last night, and I don't have it in here, but I made a scripture writing one with the 3 lines, the dotted one in the middle, to practice with hand lettering and stuff. So if anyone's interested in that, let me know, and I can put that up on my Ko-fi too. Those are all free. I just wanted to be able to share them since I didn't have them and couldn't find them. I figured somebody else couldn't too. So this is the R2 in the 0.5. So it's a little bit smaller, but these just write in blue ink. They're not just different colors. It's the Precision 0.5. They write really smoothly. They do write well. But they do go right through on those Bible pages too. So definitely not good for your Bible. Unless you're using a much thicker Bible page like the Spiral Bible, those it may work fine for. This is these are, correct English here, those Pro Marks fashion sticks. 1.0, and you get 6 colors for $1.25. So for $1.25, you can't beat that. It's definitely worth trying. We will check them out and see how they write. What did I say those were called? The Pro Marks. Okay. They do have the little tip on the end of them, which is rather strange for a ball. I guess ballpoints do have that, but we're going to say pink. Pro Marks. I don't know how I feel about the way it feels when you're writing with it. Let's see if it goes through at all. It's about the same as those gel ones, and the gel ones up there felt so much better than that. I'm assuming this one is, the purple one. The whole thing just pulled right out on me. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to call it purple. If it's not, y'all can tell me. You know I'm colorblind. Okay. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad it really was. This one is blue, and it does not have a little tip on the end of it. So we'll see how it does. There we go. It doesn't want to write very well. There we go. You have to angle it for it to write well. So these are not really my favorite right now. Not impressed with them. But I'm only at $1.25 for trying a set of 6 that might or might not have been my favorite. So it was worth trying. Okay, this is the green. It is writing like a ballpoint. So, and I don't like that when you pull that thing off the top, the entire tip of the pen comes out. And then we have the red, and it has no tip, so. Okay. Stephanie, do you write with with calligraphy pens at all? Do you know any much about those? I'm on the hunt, girl. I'm on the hunt. Okay, so that's them in the back of the Bible. Let's just write out here. We already did calligraphy pen, so this is going to be the 0.7 Blast. This really, oh, my head's in the way. This really writes well. Okay. I really like writing with this one. It feels really good and it writes really nice and bold. Yeah, I have no complaints with this 0.7 at all for just regular writing. Even with the blue, it's not quite as fluid as the orange one is, which is interesting, but it's really good. And what I really like is that in the top of it, it has this plastic seal to keep it from leaking at all. A lot of bold pens don't have that and really should. Okay, this is our 0.5, and this is the Precision, R2 Precision. It writes good. It's pretty. I like the blue. It's a really nice and dark blue, so that I can't complain. And then we will try these. I'm going to try with the orange first, just because I'm really liking the color. Do you write much at all? TC Ball Pro Marks. Okay, it writes much smoother on this paper, and this is just cardstock. Just because I don't have any really smooth writing paper other than copy paper, and it's not usually the greatest for doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not too bad for that. So maybe drawing on stuff like this would be, mixed media would be good. Nowadays, it's just writing down notes for appointments. Yeah, I understand that. I wrote a whole lot more when I was in school and college and stuff, but I I find that I am more apt to commit to memory things that I have both written, read, and seen. So I'm trying to um, trick my mind into memorization in its current stage. And I was um, I was on different pain medications and things for a while and lost a big chunk of my memory. And so ever since then, my short-term memory and stuff has been kind of really rocky, but I'm working on a lot of things to try and improve that um, now. And memorization is one that I'm really, really struggling with, but trying. Yeah. So let's play with this calligraphy pen again, because I was intrigued that Dollar Tree actually had a calligraphy pen. I don't like the extra fine nib. I'm just not an extra fine kind of girl. I like a medium to bold print. I wonder, because I really like the look of actual calligraphy. Um, you know what I mean, when they do the downstroke has like the thicker area, and I wonder if a flex nib or something like that would be good for that. I do not know. I do like hand lettering stuff, and I do have markers for that, but I really like the option of being able to do it with just regular writing. I have started trying to teach myself different handwritings, and it's just recently started, so don't look at my handwriting. It's really kind of atrocious for that. Um, So because it's so thin, I have to really build up the extra down stroke. I don't know. I just thought other people might be curious about these pins from the Dollar Tree too, and I just never see anybody actually writing with them. So I thought we'd just play with them for a minute. I do have a drawing that I started on the live the other night that I was working on. Oh, I didn't do those on there. Let me do those for us. Whew, that's a lot of pens in my hands at once. I have my little notebook on the side so I can keep notes if somebody says something. This is the Sarasa Orange. It is so smooth writing with these. I love how smooth these are. They're really nice fine liners. Yeah. The red, I wish it would be a little bit bolder. It's not very bold, and since I'm also colorblind, I would almost think that was graphite just from glancing if I didn't know it was this pen. So that's kind of a bummer there, but yeah, that's what we got there. So I thought maybe we'd work on either the drawing that I had started, or we could work on the quilt project that I'm working on. So up to you what you think would be a good one to start to go with. I'm kind of thinking since we're into ink right now that we might just go ahead and keep inking on this picture. This is a watercolor hot pressed sketchbook, and it's from Five Below. It's not a very expensive one at all, but this is the picture I was working on and trying to do some. Okay, well, we're going to go with this first, and if we feel like doing something else later, we will, but I do want to add some color to it as well, but I need to do some lining on these sides so that it looks like it's in the, in the shade a little more. We were trying out these Touch Moon fine liners from Temu, and there is a wide range of numbers going from 005 all the way up to a 1.0 and then a brush nib. The brush nib is awesome. I was really enjoying it. I remember that. So let's get those back out. And I want the finest one for that's it right there, for the little hatching and cross hatching. I don't know how much I really need here on the sides. I don't want it to blend in with the table or the shelf there, but I don't want too much, I don't think. I just want enough so that you can kind of see that that is, in a darker area. We'll do the same thing on this side of it. And I'm kind of angling it down towards the middle because I want it to show the change in level. And really, yeah, that because it's going upward on the shelf, you kind of wanted that level to kind of go with it. I am not the best inker. I am just learning to ink, and I tend to get outside of my lines a little bit. Yeah, these are like micron pens. I did notice while working on this, you can see some right in here. Let me zoom you in so you can see really good. But right in this area, you can see that I smudged a little bit. Now, I still have some graphite on there because I haven't erased anything yet, but, so it just takes a little bit of extra dry time, it seems like. They're not quite as fast drying, but they do dry pretty quick, and the price for them was amazing. I thought it was well worth it. I'm happy with them because it probably only smudged for me because I'm left-handed and my hand was going back over it, you know? And so for a right-handed person, it really wouldn't be a big deal, I don't think. And I'm just really lightly moving the pen. A lot of people really take some time with this, and I am just really very impatient, I think. I don't think I can just sit there and do line after line after line. But I'm getting the effect of it, so I'll go with that. And then I'm just kind of doing real light lines in the places I want it to be a little darker. So that would be called cross hatching. It's hatching when you're just using the one line and cross hatching when you're using both of those lines. In here, I did, back in my school days, they called it pointillism, but I think now they're calling it stippling, where you just do dots, and the thicker the dots are, the thicker your shading is. So that's what I did in there. This up here, I'm not real sure exactly the best way to shade that because it is going in a round. So I guess I would need to do a little bit of something to show that it's doing that. I just don't know the best because it's not really a colored item either. I guess it will be eventually, but the direction that you pull the line makes a difference because if I'm like when I started out there, I started doing the direction from here. Well, my line is thicker where I start at because I lighten my grip as I move over. And so I had to switch that around so that I was not making that heavy of a line all the way down that. I don't know if that's helping anybody or not. Everybody probably knows this, and I'm probably just being redundant, but that's not exactly the shape it needed to be. So, well, we'll leave it like that. It is what it is. So let's get our eraser out and erase some of that stuff so we can start playing with some watercolor or something. Oh, I forgot. I moved everything. I have this big thing that I put over here that, well, let me show you. It is actually an old tool chest, but it has so many drawers. Okay. All right. See you in a minute. It has a ton of drawers. And here's my eraser right here. I keep the kneaded eraser in a medicine container, an old medicine container, because it's airtight. And I've had this one for years with it, but it keeps it nice and stringy and moist and easy to clean itself. Because to clean a kneaded eraser, you have to just string it back out and it goes right back. It just cleans itself. And you also like to be able to mush it into certain shapes and sizes. So I know this was the other day, so it should be more than fine for me to erase on that. And this was, just want to make sure I get any graphite lines because I don't want those to show when I put watercolor on because the watercolor will make it more permanent in that regard. A kneaded eraser is really the easiest kind of eraser that I've found on watercolor paper. A lot of the other ones are really much more abrasive for it and tend to tear the paper up more than need be. So that's why I'm choosing to use this. You can use it in many ways. You can dab like this, and it will pick up the excess graphite and stuff. Or you can erase across, but you see how much I'm getting off just going across? It's a lot. So it's always a good practice to go back and erase your lines and get rid of those extras. Okay, so I'm thinking watercolor on these. And because it's hot pressed, it's not going to spread all over the page. But I also do have these that I found the other day, and I didn't realize I had them. These are golden fluid paints. So, but I think that would be better for a different time because I don't want to cover up all my lines. So let me grab my watercolor palette and some water when I figure out where I put my water can. That's my gouache I'm working on. Child, I got so many projects going on in this place. Here's my water cans. I got these at, they're actually planters. They're metal. I got them at a place called Atwood's here. It's one of those rancher store kind of things, you know, the farm goods store. And they had them on sale. They have this little plug in them. Yeah, they're everywhere, girl. Welcome back. And so they hold the water well. So I grabbed them for watercolor. So I'll be right back. I'm going to put some water in this and I'll be right with you. Okay, let me see what watercolors do we want to grab. I definitely want to try these. These are new for me. I'll need a palette. I'll grab that. I want to try the Kuretake, but I'm afraid it will be too thick. But we'll see what we can do with it. I think that would be fun. Okay. I don't know that I have enough room for everything I brought, but we're going to see. These I made the woman at the register checked me out to test them to see if they would actually hold water before I got them. But they were on sale, so I got them for like $1 a piece. You can't beat that. Okay, knocking my brushes around. I don't like to do that. Okay. Here are my watercolor brushes. I'm trying to get everything in the screen for you. Look, isn't this adorable? It's a coffin. I want to do some polymer clay or something around the edges and trim it and put a cross on both sides. I think that's a cool project we can do sometime. Well, I'll set it like that. It'll be fun. Okay, I'll get rid of this piece of paper and the microns. I don't need them out here right now. Put them back. I have all my pencil stuff that I carry around from room to room with me in this. I got it from Dollar Tree for $1.25. But you have to test and make sure that the latch works well on the one you pick up to buy. If it doesn't click like that, it's not going to hold it. But it holds all my stuff in this little bitty tote, and I can carry it around everywhere. It's a men's toolbox that they have. Yeah. Girl, them glue projects. This is a Kuretake set that Miss Zena got me. Oh no, I spread my blue too far. So we may play with that if I can get it to be thinned down enough. Kuretake seems to be a lot more opaque. And this is a new set to me. This is the White Nights granulating set. And I did swatch them. So I think those will be fun for the ink colors, maybe. And aren't they beautiful? They're so pretty. So pretty. And I don't don't know if this one came in it or not. I don't think so. This looks like the barrel's too fat. Yeah. But I love this little one. This is a Da Vinci number 5 travel brush. It doesn't hold a ton of water, but it really doesn't need to. And let's see. My palette over here has a bunch of grays and blue grays and stuff. But I think, you tell me what you think. I was thinking maybe do like a purple in the middle. So maybe like this lilac mist here, and then do a gray on one side, or this violet shadow could be on another side for the ink. I think that would be fun. That way we'd be using mainly purples and grays. There's a violet mist here, so that would be 3 totally different violets in that. Yeah, I think that sounds cool. What do you think? Push your card up. Oh, here we go. So I'm thinking this one, and this one for the 3 ink colors in the bottles. And then I don't know. I haven't thought that far in advance. Okay, this is a new palette here for me, but I don't know if it's going to bead up, so I'm not going to put glue on it yet. But if you get a plastic palette or a metal palette and they're beading up your watercolor, all you have to do is take a glue stick and rub over the whole surface, then wipe off the excess, anything extra that you can get off of it, and your paint won't bead up anymore. Just a wonderful tip. Okay, so Lilac Mist is the second on the bottom, so it's this one right here. I want to do that one first. Yeah, it's not beading up. That's wonderful. I like it just the color that it is, so I'm kind of thinking we're just gonna... I like with the idea with hot press that the paint is not going to spread and bleed out, but then again with granulating colors and stuff, the whole point is for them to want to spread and bleed out. So I don't know. I'm torn. I have a dilemma. I think this is going to be such a pretty color. Look at that. And because it's the lightest one, it'll let my lettering stand out really well. So I like that. I'm going to add some extra in here just to see what it does. I don't want any blooms, but I don't want to miss the chance at some good granulating stuff happening. I am going to put a little... Ah, good, that wiped right in there. Okay, I'm going to put some extra down in the bottom because I think the bottom would be more concentrated, being ink of the color. So we're going to do that. And yeah, and then we'll lighten it up a little bit as we go up. I'm not used to being live by myself. That's kind of strange, but the girls have been busy. I think Zena is pet sitting and Jen is still waiting on her. She has lots of appointments this week, but she's still waiting on her webcam to show up. So, and I couldn't sleep. I haven't slept since night before last night. I don't know what the deal is, but there was no sleep happening. So I decided I'd just get my happy tail up and come in here and do something. At least that's what my mama told me I need to do. She always says, if you can't sleep, there's no sense in laying there in the bed. Just get up and do stuff and make yourself tired. Okay, we may want to play with a different color in that top. I'm not sure. Oh, girl, I know. I don't know what the deal is, but I could not sleep for anything. Okay, so our next one is this top one here, and it is the Violet Shadow. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. I don't normally paint with my hand in this position, but I don't really see, other than moving my stuff, I guess I can move it some. I don't need my waters to be seen there, and I apparently am not using that right now, so I'll move these over here. That way you can see the whole thing. Yeah, there. And I can turn it how I want to. If I don't turn it, my hand tends to get in the way and get into stuff. So I have a tendency to really, really want to turn it. Wow, that's so deep and pretty, isn't it? I know, don't spill my water. I am really, really prone to stuff like that. So you're not wrong in telling me that. Okay, I'm just using a little water to see if I can thin it out just a little bit because I want it to kind of be a little more smoky and not like a solid mass. I can always add more pigment. It's easier to add more than to take it away, to me. Although you can take it away with watercolor. Especially I haven't tried it, but I've been watching a lot of channels and they use the magic eraser and dip it in when the water is still wet and it picks stuff right up. I thought that was really interesting. That's so pretty. Okay, let's do that. And I guess we'll do that in the top of it too because they're kind of full bottles. I haven't really used them yet. Ah, that's my mind at play. Do you ever do that? I like do that when I'm sitting at places at the mall and stuff. And I'll sit and watch people and I'll make up stories about them and what I think is going on in their life at that moment. They're never right, but it's fun for me for the time. Yeah, there we go. That is going to be a little bit too thick in a spot. I can see it's trying to be cantankerous, so I'm going to spread it a little bit more while it's still wet. Okay, so let's put our third color in. Yes, imagination. You don't lose it, you just quit using it. Okay, this one is the Violet Mist. So let's see. Oh, yeah. I would never think that looking at the color in the pan. It does not look like a violet mist to me, but you know, wow, that's gonna be so pretty. I'm going to make the sides a little darker as they get back towards the back side because I want that illusion of depth there. Do you hear my dogs? I don't know what their deal is. They're just barking at anything and everything they possibly can at the moment. This right here was a label. I'm so sorry if you hear them. That's what I was trying to use the headset for because the headset itself has noise blocking, but I don't know why it's such a big deal with StreamYard. I haven't had any good luck since they made their changes with using them. The little shrill voice is Honey Bun, and she is Alpha. But she barks because the big one barks, and that's my daughter's dog, Remy, and she has high anxiety and stresses over every little noise, so it has become quite a nuisance lately in our house because they put in a sidewalk for people to walk on and bike around, catty-corner down the street, but it doesn't matter. That's enough for them. They don't like it. They don't want it in there. They're just crazy about it. And we're out in the country. We're on a farm, but we're like right outside the city limits. So we are having the city is trying to encroach on this area, and it's not proving really easy for them just because the people that live back here, none of us want people back here. That's the whole point of why we, moved this far this way. Your dogs can see someone. Yeah, it's crazy. I thought about trying those bark collars, but then I thought, no, this is their home. They're the ones encroaching on their home and their territory. But boy, it sure is getting to be a nuisance. So, should I should I paint over the label or should I paint the label a different color? What would go good with purple? Maybe a yellow? Do yellow and purple look okay together? I don't know. I'm not really thinking real good about that kind of stuff right now. She used to sleep with my hubby, but now she sleeps out in the living room on her doggy bed. And me, the scaredy cat at night, I feel safer with her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine always sleep in my room, my two, but since Remy has come in the picture, when Katie's not home, then I don't want Remy to be alone out in the living room because, she has that anxiety and stuff. So I have Copper sleep out there with her. Well, he thinks he's being punished, and he's not being punished, but he thinks so because he's not getting to sleep in the bedroom like he was. So then I feel bad for him, but you know, you know, you got to do what you got to do to help the critters out. No, they don't understand. They sure don't. Okay, I don't like these just in this color, so maybe if we mm, maybe if we mix some of the hematite with that violet mist, I think that might be kind of cool. Kind of give it a different look. Maybe I should test it right there. Yeah, I think that'd be okay. I got it right down in the other because I didn't wait on it to dry. But had it have been cold press paper, that would have sprung out. I've been wanting to do some coloring videos, but the book I want to color in, I don't want to color in. I know that doesn't make any sense. But I love the book and I love the images and want to color the images, but I don't want to mess up the book. Yeah, it's crazy. I know it's surely just first world problems or something. I don't know. It's that book, Ink House, that I hauled. I just think it's so gorgeous. It just seems such a shame to do that. So I may have to like try to copy it onto a copy paper or something, or onto something and color with that. Okay. So I think where the stripes are at and the letters, I'm going to do that really bright purple just because I think it's really pretty and it's standing out so good. And we have some more right there, so we might as well, right? Oh, goodness. Yes, that's so pretty. I love that color. I usually prefer the really darker colors, but this is just so pretty. Yeah. I just got a new copier yesterday and got it hooked up, so I'm gonna have to give that a try and do that because I have lots of colored pencils that I'd like to, kind of go through and let y'all know what I think about them and what I like and don't like. Not that my opinion matters a whole lot, but sometimes it's nice just to hear other people talk about them. So pretty. Ah, it's so pretty. What are you doing today? What are you working on? It must not have had that in this side of the S's because I didn't draw it in there, but I'm kind of wondering if it doesn't need it. What do you think? The lines and stuff in that? You can go ahead and color it. Ah, it is that time of year, the whole school thing, isn't it? I'm out of the loop on that stuff. My kids are grown and, well, yeah, I'm apparently in the old people's club now. I don't know. People that I went to school with are now having grandkids, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not even right. We shouldn't be having grandkids. We're just kids. Yeah, I think that's better. I'll put the lines in once it dries on that. Girl, it's a real issue. It's a real issue. Now, what should we do for the top of this? Um, we have lots of color choices. I do need to do like a light brown for the cork up there. This Tanga Mist, what color is that? Is that a green or a brown? It's PBR7 P8 dot 16.3, I think is what it says. I don't know what that means. Looks like a green. Yeah, I was thinking it looked kind of greeny to me too. I don't want green. I want more of a brown. So I may need to grab another little palette over here to get us a brown. I think the Kuretake has a brown in it, but I'm a little bit nervous about it just because um, it is a more opaque paint. I love the Kuretake paints, but I'm very heavy-handed, and I know that about myself, so I know I better pay attention to that problem. Let's see what we got in this one. Do I have a brown? I have a burnt sienna. It's kind of a brown red. I do have a brown ochre, and that looks like a corky kind of color. Okay, let's see what we can come up with that. And it says that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. Looks like I've used it a lot. Yeah, that looks kind of like corky color, don't it? Do this without getting my hand in everything. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can put in a little bit darker brown if I can find one. That burnt sienna would probably work. The next one up says it's burnt sienna. That's not burnt sienna. That one is more like it there. Yeah. And it'll mix because I'm putting it right there in the wet paint. That's not what I wanted to do, but I ended up doing it. I wanted to just darken the outer edges, but it looked like that color was going to be a better color for the cork, so I just did it all over. Let's see. I don't know where my paper towels are. I'm going to have to use my toilet paper to wipe this off so I can move it. Does violet and yellow go good together? I do not remember. Let me get my little color wheel out here somewhere. Ah! Don't let me spill it. I don't want to spill it. Oh, I see it over there. Okay. The color complement of violet is yellow, so yellow might be kind of cool on the top of that. And then I'm thinking yellow might be kind of cool. Maybe more of that Hansa yellow. That looks more like it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty. Just kind of a thin down. Okay. I'm going to do yellow for the label. Get my little tissue. I touched the outside of it there. Didn't want to do that. There we go. But I don't want no white specks either. Okay, so if we're doing yellow there, what are we going to do up here? I don't think the yellow is a good idea for up there. I just think it would be too much on one side with the yellow doing that. Do I have a different violet over here that would be like a really light one? Have a Quin lilac, but that's not light at all. As a tundra violet, that might be pretty if we did tundra violet. Okay, if this one is Quin, this one is tundra. We have to really water it down, I think, though. It's okay. I'm not really thrilled with it. Add a little bit of this darker, bolder looking violet color. That's better. Let's see if that looks better. Water always takes the path of least resistance, so if it's wet, it's going to follow the trail of the water. Okay, but we need to do something cool towards the middle. Why don't we come back with this purple towards the middle? I think that might be kind of nice. And brighten it back up. Should be waiting on that to dry. I know I'm being impatient. Okay, I better let that dry first. Okay, so I'm going to move this one and get my little heat gun out so I can dry that quickly. Of course, I put it in the last end down here, but I knew where it was at. See that? That was a big plus right there that I knew where it was at. I usually don't. So, plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. And move my paints. I don't want them getting all dried out. My cord is not reaching that far. I'm going to turn it to the side some. Okay. I kind of like the angle that's at, so we're going to keep it. And we're going to put more of that really nice bright. Move my head. I'm going to go ahead and do this whole thing right in here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now I'm going to have to pick it up with water if I can. There we go. Okay. So back to our pretty vibrant blue. Purple, not blue. Why am I saying blue? I guess I have blue on my brain. Okay, that's a little bit excessive down there. So I'm going to pick some of that up and a little bit up here. Okay. I got a little spot in there that I'm not getting the color in there. I'm taking too much of it up but not enough out of the other spots. So for now, though, I'm going to leave that section alone, and we're going to go on to our wooden shelf. Our wooden shelf. Drinking some apple juice, had to water that down, too sweet. It's funny. When I was younger, I loved juices like that, but they are too sweet. They've got way too much sugar. I think that in the U.S., the government, they want us to be fat and unhealthy because, they want big pharma to get money for all their donations to their campaigns and junk. And to get us to buy more of that, we have to be unhealthy. I think that's why we don't have the regulations on our food and our drinks and everything like they do in other countries. And that's why we have a high obesity rate too. I think our government is to blame, but that's a whole nother topic. I shouldn't be talking government on a Crafty Arty channel. I know that gets in a whole new place. Okay, so we're going to put this little palette away for now because I need more browns and yellows. And so I'm going to wipe those just so I don't get them in my paints. Okay, there's that one. I do have this set that I made. How am I on browns? Oh, I've got quite a few browns in it. We'll use it. This is a wonderful palette for anybody that is colorblind. They're wooden, Defiant Art, the Thrifty Apprentice channel. He actually creates a lot of these palettes. I did not get this one from him, but I would highly recommend him. He's a wonderful person and very upstanding. And the reason I really like it for someone who's colorblind and other people too, I mean, come on, you can't guess the colors all the time, is that you can put labels right here at each one of the paint pans and quickly know what color you're at. You don't have to play a guessing game. I love that. I don't like guessing games. Not unless I intentionally want one. Okay, I need to spritz out my little... see my paper towels. That's a good thing. Let me spritz this out and clean us out some mixing areas. Watercolor's real easy. You just wet it down and wipe it out. So nice. For those that can see color, wiping it out is not really necessary all the time. But for those of us that can't see shades and stuff, you really need to wipe it out so you know for sure you're getting the color you want. I am what they call red-green colorblind, and I see color, but I can't tell the difference in like pinks and purples or some blues and purples, browns and greens, things like that, that a lot of people can easily pick up on. Like yellows, they're really bright. The lime greens and the yellows are torture. Let me tell you, because when I was in college, I went to this one college for like 2 weeks, and then I decided I could not afford to be there. But plus, I had just gotten separated and was going through a divorce and a bunch of other junk. But the parking spaces were marked with yellow for students and lime green for administration and teachers. And if you parked in the teacher one, you got a ticket, a $25 ticket. Well, I would think that I was parking in a lime green one, but I was parking in a yellow one, and it didn't seem to matter. So every day I was getting a $25 ticket because I couldn't figure out where to park. And they didn't seem to care that I was colorblind or didn't believe me. I don't know which one it was. They might have had a lot of that from students claiming to be or something. I don't know. But the only place I wanted to be was at home with my baby. So I didn't last very long at that college. Let's try a different, let's just go with a different brush. I'll stick that one back in there. I want one that is not too wide, but not too thin either. I don't want it to hold a ton of water. Let's try this one, this Royal Majestic number 5. Okay, I'm going to put a bit of a yellow down, but I'm thinking like azo yellow maybe. Let me see what it looks like here. Oh yeah, that's a good one for the lighter places in your wood. I've been working on some acrylic paintings, and they're coming along really well. I've been taking some classes. I say classes. I go to a lady's house, and basically I pay her, and she helps me with my colors. And if I don't know how to do something, she tells me how. So that's really kind of cool, but it's really inexpensive. It gives me an outing and gives her some company. So I like that. I guess I'm putting this all over now instead of just in little places, just so that I can come back over the top of it. I'm so used to working with acrylic, though, that when I go to work with watercolor, it's complete opposite. Like you go from lights to darks in watercolor, but in acrylic, you go from darks to lights. And so it's kind of a, well, she kind of does. She doesn't really know how. Nobody really knows how to help with colorblind. I've tried the glasses and they didn't work for me. Um, but she does help me when I'm questioning my colors and stuff, and helps me to see the color the way it actually should be. And I really am grateful for that because I have a really hard time with that. Yes, helps me to determine my colors the right way. And that's a huge, huge thing. Before we get off, if you remind me, I'll show you where I'm at on that acrylic painting. Okay, I need to dry that real quick, and then we can go in with starting our browns. Okay. Let me go ahead and get it and show you, because I don't know when you're going to have to go to your son's to pick him up. Okay, I'm going to show you, but don't look at my ugly room behind here, because my room is an absolute mess. I've got so much going on. And I don't know if it's going to be upside down. Shoot. Okay. I'll take it off of here and hold it down there so you can see it right. So far, this is where I'm at with it. I'm just starting to work on this pot, and I haven't touched the salt and pepper shakers at all. I'm thinking I need to do some lighting coming through here, because that would illuminate some of this. And I don't have my knobs on the drawers yet, but thank you. I'm really pleased with how it's coming. I'm doing more now, and I think it's because I'm focused. I'm at her house for 2 hours a week, and that's all I focus on. I shut everything else out, and I turn some music on, and I just focus. And I think that really is making a huge difference. A huge difference. Not to mention, she's really, really sweet and always very encouraging. Sometimes you just need someone to encourage you, you know? All right, back to this. Let's get us some browns going. I don't want to use that brush again. I'm going to use a different brush. Because I can. Just because I can. Where's my favorite brush? Ah, this is him. I don't know where to get another brush like this. I got it at an estate sale. It's called Handover Series 299 and number 8. I accidentally left it in water overnight, and the handle cracked all the way up. But it's gorgeous. I do have a brush I would love to try, but they're way, way expensive. They're like $30 or something for one brush. What was it called? It's a Winsor & Newton Series 7. brush, and I saw it on another lady's channel, and she was just raving about it, and I was watching her as she used it, and I really, really liked it, the way it looked like it was working out. Let's do some Holbein's Burnt Umber on this one. See how it does. It's okay for a lighter tone. We'll have to go in with some darker, but I know I felt so bad when I walked in. My stomach sank because I was using this brush for like everything. It's so, it held just the right amount of water, and it did all the things you want it to do. The only thing that I would change is that it doesn't have much of a point, but I like that it's a shorter bristle. I don't like real long bristles. I prefer a much shorter, stubbier with just a nice point, if that makes any sense. I know I'm becoming a brush snob along with the pen snob thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. I do have some of the Princeton Velvet Touches. I should be trying that. I haven't even tried those, I don't think, yet, since I got it, other than swatching with it. One of my favorite brushes for acrylic, I use them, and they're actually for any kind of mixed media stuff, and it is the Princeton Snap Brush. I love those. They're springy. They do a lot for you. Those are really nice brushes. Okay, we got some Van Dyke Brown. Let's try that because we're getting a little reddish looking in there. You were friends with a girl back in high school and she was from New York. She would always complain if a pen would leave an ink blot. They're not supposed to. Did you know that? That usually means that the pen or the ink is old. Like, a lot of times you'll get those ballpoint pens that'll do that. It's not supposed to do that. That only indicates that it's old. That's what I've been learning because I always hated that too. Okay. I'm still not exactly satisfied with that color brown. Maybe I need to add just a touch of black or something to it. Let's try that. Just a little bitty bit of, we'll try this Mars Black. I think it's one that's supposed to be more granulating. Oh yeah, that's a better color. It's a much richer wood. Yeah, much, much better color. I'm liking that color better. We need to get darker on the either the plate or the front. Which one do you think? The top of it or the front of it? Probably the front of it, huh? I don't know, because I kind of like the wood grain that's in the front of it. I don't really want to lose that. We do need to do some more stuff up here, but I think I'm going to do some colored pencil work on top of the watercolor work. I think that's what I'm going to do to get some better details in there. It would be nice if I put a background in here, but I didn't think to do that in advance. So maybe colored pencil backgrounds. Okay, I want it a little bit away. I'm going to try a different brush. I told myself I was going to try that Velvet Touch one. Where'd it go? I should be able to tell by just feeling it. That's one, but it's just it's a flatty one. Why not? Let's try the flatty one. I'm going to add a little bit more of that black into it. Make it a little darker. It's kind of a nice shape to work with. Oh, no, you're good, girl. Family always comes first. Oh, this is a really nice brush. This little flat brush for watercolor. I did not know. I've never used a flat brush with watercolor. I like it. Oh my goodness. Girl, I tell you what, they grow so stinking quick. They really do. They outgrow us, that's for sure. Wow, that just really is smooth to use that with watercolor. I'm really surprised. I've never heard anybody talking about the flat brush with watercolor much. Other than, flowers or whatever. You had to buy all new clothes for him this past weekend, Pinch. Yeah. Yeah, he's in that growing phase, girl, and it's going to be that way for a while. Yeah. What do you think for a wood shelf? Does that look like a wood shelf? A little bit of that dark right in there where that cracky thing is. Maybe a little bit of the dark. Kind of in spots where the knots are. Awesome, awesome. Oh, we do need to work on this yellow thing going on here. This is just not going to work. So let's see what kind of a Azo is what we used with that other thing. Let me see what it looks like. Yes. Yeah, I think that would be a better yellow for that. Let's try that. Yeah, it's much richer and warmer. I'm much happier with that yellow than the one we had. Definitely. Okay. I'm gonna get a small dotting thing and put some small dots of the really dark brown right in there. Where's our little small things? Well, they're all little small things, I guess. Okay, I wanted a little more of this black in it and that brown. And then we'll try some of these. It's not showing up enough. Oh, you sent me a pic of him? Where did you send it? Messenger, okay. Oh my word. He is growing up. Look at him. He's almost taller than your bookshelf behind you. His head in that picture is showing taller than your TV. Is that a TV or a window? It may be a window. Looks like a window. Oh my goodness. That is absolutely crazy. Crazy. Okay, I gotta move that thing because it'll keep me distracted. You were sitting down. It's still though. I mean, that's just he's only got more to go. That's the thing. Okay, that's supposed to be a cork. What would make it more cork-like? What color do you think? Should I add some of that, like, I don't know. Have I got it too dark now? Yeah, that would be God holding that water can over him. Oh my goodness. There, I put a little bit of that yellow towards the middle to kind of brighten that up some. Okay. Now I'm going to get that purple we had, that second purple we had, back out. A tan or a brown. That's what I was using was tan and brown, but it needed like a lighter tinge to it to make it where it wasn't so dark brown. You know what I mean? Okay, we need that. really pretty bright purple we were using, which means that it is that one right there. Whew, that's so pretty. So pretty. Someone dumped Miracle Grow on him. What do you think about that one? It's like, Mom, I could hear my kids now. Oh, my word. Okay, now this one over here, I don't like this top being that light, so let's get us a different brush. We'll try this Rolling Lang Nickel number 5. What color was that? That was in this White Nights thing. And it was a Violet Mist, I think. And that was this bottom one over here. Yeah, because I thought that doesn't even look like violet until I started messing with it. I'm gonna add to darken violet. I want to put a little bit of blue in it, I think. Let's put a little bit of that ultramarine in it. No, that didn't darken. Okay. I'm going to add a smidge touch of black. I know most people are like, don't use black, but I love black. Okay. We still need it to be a little bit darker. How am I going to get that much darker? I mean, just straight from the thing, I can do that. There. That's better. Yeah, I like that better. And we'll put some of the darker down here since this is the bottom. And it's those sides that need to be pushed back. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking that better. does a lot. I don't like that brush. Its bristles are like trying to split open while I'm trying to paint with it. I may regret using the silver black velvet one, but I'm going to try it. I only say that because it holds so much water. Okay. Okay. I think that's where I'm going to stop with the color for today because I think I need this to dry fully and then go in with some colored pencils. So I will pause with that. But I have really enjoyed these White Knight granulating colors. They're really, really pretty. Definitely, definitely good. That's what the box looks like. Thank you, Stephanie G. I really appreciate you hanging out with me and everything. But I do need to get off here because I need to do my Bible study for tomorrow's video. So I will say goodbye for today, and I will see you in the next one or anybody else watching. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoyed hanging out. Bye.